The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space.
Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Oxygen Not Included.
So anyway, now we're going to actually start the game. So in the last stream, we did a little bit more build-up of our base. We got the bottom portion ready for the poke shell and sani shells. These are going to be 2 ranches. On the right side is going to be sani shells for the extra fish food. And on the left is going to be the poke shells for that lime from their shells. Then on the right, in this little corridor right here, is going to be 2 different incubators that are never going to be powered. That's because we only need about 4 poke shells and sani shells. We don't really need a full ranch, although this is capable of doing a full ranch as far as I know. No, it is not. It actually is only capable of 11 critters instead of 12. But then on the far right, this little corridor is just going to be a starvation area for the both of them. In the middle, we are still building it up. Right here is going to be the kitchen. There's going to be 2 different grand halls or great halls. I forget what they're called. Up here is the bathroom. There's going to be showers here and then a big empty area. And then these are all the bedrooms. Now right above here is going to be a recreation and massage room. And above that is going to be our science room. On the left over here is going to be a hospital, even though we don't need one. We're going to have a hospital here. And then a creation station area. It's not an actual room, but it's going to be a room that we do all of our creating things. So the Atmos suits and clothing stuff. There's going to be some stuff in there for medical stuff. Have fun lurking, Slicky. You did do a lot of work. I unfortunately missed the last stream. I didn't feel like we did a lot of work. We were using the metal refinery to get a lot of the power to be upgraded. We got pretty much everything up to this battery. I know this isn't fully upgraded, but we do have the cobalt for it up to this point here. And that's already set to be upgraded once they get the time to it. It's really just Willow doing it right now. And Willow doesn't have that much help. So we had just dug out a bunch of cobalt up in this area. We're dropping a lot of the water down here. And we're slowly digging this area out so that we can hold a large amount of water. But once all of this is upgraded so that it stops breaking every time we use the metal refinery, we will then get into building the SPOM, which is starting here. This is the bottom right corner of the SPOM. It's not exactly a square or a rectangle, but a rectangle is the best way to describe what we're going to be making. The base, on the other hand, is going to be pretty much a square. With a, what I'm jokingly calling a tumor on the top left. Okay, we had put in 2 ladders here so that Gino can dig out this line of tiles so that the water drips down without getting caught in the base. And we have some sweeps here so that they can get up here without having too much water issues, you know, walking through liquids. We also have Gino digging out this tile so that we can get all the way over here and drop all this water, because that is in the way of our SPOM. Our SPOM is actually lining up right with this wall. So everything to the left we need to drain out. Now there's not that much salt water, So we're actually going to just drop that down in here. We're going to have to dig out this bleach stone and stuff. But all the polluted water, I want it to drain all the way over here and just go straight down. Okay, let's play. Still only 2 named dupes? Yes. No one else has used the redeem. I did actually just lower the redeem. Just because there's probably more newcomers than I had anticipated. So it is no longer a 1,000-point redeem. It is now 500 points. So that's at least anyone who raided in, plus maybe an hour or 2. So if they're a new person from a raid, they should be able to do this. The water is coming over here. Is that going to be an issue for us? I mean, these 2 decoration plants just died, but that's fine. Gina did just dig out that tile, so now everything should be falling. It's okay if it falls on here, but I just didn't want it touching the wall. So now I'm going to sweep all this. And this because of the air. Now, if I do priority and cleaning, we're going to put that on a 9. As well as this. Because my dupes seem to be ignoring sweep commands at all costs. And Willow is up here putting together the ladders so that we can get all this cobalt. So once Gino is done over here, which he just got done, should be going straight over there. Or he's digging out this one last tile to get all this liquid down. Okay. Name one after Slicky. Okay, Slicky. I know you're lurking, but if you're here, you can choose a dupe. If not, we will wait until you come back, if you do come back. Just in case you are here. Let's see who we have. We have a Steve, Amari, Bert, and Trivaldo. Those are your 4 options. And then we'll wait for them to come back. There is a Pacu egg. We are going to relocate them into our semi-ranch. Why haven't they done these 2? I think Willow was just prioritizing things that do not require the metal first. We have 3 Pacus in here, which meant that there were eggs that I did not see. So I'm going to go around and make sure that all the eggs are within the ranches. I know there's one there, and we're moving this one, so that's fine. 3 pip eggs. You're being relocated to right here. I see that there's one in the ranch. Oh, there's 2 in the ranch. So we're just moving this one. We also are trying to move out all of the edible stuff for hatches from here. There's a few things that are red. That's pretty much just the coal from their poop. Because if it's useful somewhere else, we're not moving it. Now, once this pip dies, which how old are you? They still got a bunch of cycles left. But once they die, or if we get a rancher and we can move them out, we will then use this bin for any type of seed. And this poke shell should be dying soon. Yeah. Because this one is fully aged. Okay, so Willow built up this stuff. Let's dig further in. Get all the way over here, build those 3 tiles. Because those should be the last 3 that we need to make all this liquid come down here. This looks like one really long amount of liquid. And I'm surprised these Pacus aren't freaking out about low water. Because this isn't dripping anymore, so that means that's emptied. And this should be stopping soon. This is also blocking air from going over here. I wonder wonder if dupes get soaking wet from walking through water. Hold on a second. You probably don't have soaking wet right now, right? I think it would go in status. They do get soaping wet. Okay, that's neat to know. So if there was a way to break this up, it would stop doing that, but for right now, it is going to do that. We're not fully empty on our cobalt. Did I destroy the cobalt container? No, it's right here. So we have this on a 7. We're using priority 7 for important items like food, water, air, and we're also making moving cobalt into the base as an important thing. Now, this is 6 kilograms. There goes water, so that should have stopped. Then that means this is now not going to make them soaping wet. Okay. We do have an oxygen creator, but we have a ton of carbon dioxide. So over time, this is going to get worse and worse because we do not have a decent way of getting rid of all of our carbon dioxide. We have natural planted oxyferns, but we only have like 3 or 4. That's 2. There's a 3rd one here somewhere. 4th one's right there. We had more, but I dug them up to place in the base. Okay. It looks like they did most of the power upgrade already. If I just grab this. Is there anything that we need to upgrade before I just do this entire line? That's upgraded there. Okay, so I think we're gonna do this in a few seconds. We'll just go straight up like this. We do have the metal refinery on making... Oh, we don't have this on it forever. Let's turn that onto forever. And the sooner we get this completed, the sooner we stop wasting cobalt ore on making the wires. So, what I'm going to do now while we wait is drop the rest of this water. So if we go... I guess just like this. No, I am going to dig out those tiles. That should let this fall out very easily. And then we'll just do this. I do need to get to this as well. So maybe instead we will make a ladder like that. And dig out all the other tiles. I am being sure to dig out every tile at the bottom so that nothing gets stuck in it. And this should go all the way. It's probably going to come in this floor and then these. The only way to stop that, since it's coming down on the side of the wall, is to block that in. Let's see if it drips inside the base. Doesn't look like it's going to. A little surprised on that. And I did see a Paku. Alright. We do have a pod here. Oh, we can get omelets or tidier. No, bottomless stomach. We're not doing anyone with a bottomless stomach, no matter how good they are. But we will take this omelet. And then omelets would go up here along with barbecue. No, this is the won't go stale food. Omelet would go here. Okay. So that should move in there. Let's check on our skills, and then we're going to do a prediction on... Oh, that's right, he's the only griller. We're going to do a prediction on what we're going to get in our first of 3 pods of the day. Let's start that now. Is it going to be clothes, decorations, or buildings? You have 10 minutes to predict. In the meantime, oh, this got full again. At least it's going down fairly quickly. And then this is slowly coming down from the top tile. So we should be able to breathe going up here soon. And there is enough tiles dug out that this should be able to allow airflow through here so that it'll be able to breathe a little bit further in. Gino is getting some polluted oxygen coming through here. And they just let out the rest of the water, so now they're not going to be able to breathe. This shouldn't take too much time to drain out. The thing that's going to take the longest is this portion here. We're also going into cycle 100. It's already draining from this tile. How is over here? This stopped draining again. There is another Pacu egg. Wait. I want that as a top priority when we switch over. Yeah, that's the only egg, so the other one must have hatched. Welcome to cycle 100, everyone. That's an egg. How did we get an egg? Did the baby Pacus up here swim all the way down? Are there any Pacus down here? There's a few. They're also eating some stuff down here. That is a cool emo, Gino. Henry? I don't know that person. We finished up the wires. We have another 100 cobalt we can use, so let's continue going further. Since this water pump is important for getting cobalt going, I think we should go up this way and do this line next. Then we'll continue going the middle portion connecting into our base. To point out again, the wiring system right now is not how it's going to be forever, especially in this area because these are going to be moved up here. So how much further? I forgot there's a little tiny bit more here. I'm also going to tell Gino to dig out this tile because I don't think this is going to drain out completely if it has a ceiling to it. I don't remember if that's how it works. Gino, you're scaring me. Okay, Gino, you almost died because you couldn't decide on where you're going to breathe. Get all the air you can. It's going to be a while before we get SPOM going. Gino, you could have made it out here. Why isn't this going down though? Oh, now it is. See, it seems like when they have a roof to it and it makes that full tile, it seems like it drains slower. Now Gina's kind of trapped over here. Are you okay, Gino? You know what? If you're stuck over here, could you mop these? Maybe? Oh, you're trying. You gave up. It's because you have slime lung. You can't go as far. Okay, you should be able to get out here pretty soon. You got to about where the Pacu is, so this might be close enough. First fatality? Technically, no. It would be the second. We had an unnamed dupe die in the last stream, but since this is our main colony for our story, we are doing some alternate universes. So if anyone dies, we're just going to reload the game. In our future planned 2 colonies, on the Frosty DLC and the Bionic Dupes DLC, we will not be reloading. If anyone dies, that's it for them. Okay, now it's just down to this. We have 2 Paku eggs. Ah, I knew there was going to be another one over there. Put you right there and put you on the line. Or else they won't do it. And they're not doing this very much because of this being one of 5. We're doing okay on food. We, I think, have enough food thrown about the place that we can actually sustain the 6 people. We could probably do with the 7th dupe, but pretty soon we're going to run into a heat issue, no matter where we put the meal wood. So I probably should get science going on heat related stuff. That's the steam turbine is what I'm thinking of, because it requires the radiation science. Where are aqua tuners? Did I already do the aqua tuner? I feel like it would be in water. It is. I already have aqua tuner. Okay. So we really only need this one science in order to do cooling. Really? I feel like usually I have a harder time getting to this point where I can cool stuff down. So let's get that started. We don't have the radiation science unlocked, so we're not going to be doing that 3rd portion, which is why it's saying missing research station. But I'm also not worried about it too much. I am letting them work out what they need to do without me telling them anything for the moment. This needs 2 dupe actions from here, because it's 25 cobalt per tile and there's 5 tiles here. Does the game seem quiet for you guys? Because it seems quiet for me. I don't think it's the headphone. Is it? No. I don't think it's... Maybe it is the game. It's not the headphones. I'm going to turn the game up a little bit. Go for like an 80... We'll try 80 first. We might go to 85. I mean, I do see that when it gets too loud in the game, or the extra volume, it goes up to the yellow. When you zoom in, it gets louder. I think that's fine. Anyway, let's check on Willow. Willow is now fully stocked, which means that everyone is now done. Why did I have a brain here? Did they have exosuit training when they came in? I think so. You do hear more of the game now? Okay. I know that ding was a little bit louder. Is anyone suffocating somewhere? The error went away, so I don't know what the error was. It was probably from down here with Amari. Even for me, the game seems very quiet right now. I can see OBS is picking up some volume. Right now, that seems like a normal play volume. So why did I turn it down? We're keeping music half volume. So you guys have to tell me if anything gets too loud in the game. I know clicking on things should be very loud. Music is at half volume, so that's why it was super quiet. But it just seems like the ambient noise was too quiet. Anyway. I think we need one more action from this to finish off the cobalt here. Well, Amari was doing that, or... yeah, that is Amari. Suffocating. Who is suffocating so I know where? Right here, where all the carbon dioxide is. Okay. That makes sense. Do we want to do another electrolyzer? There is a Shedinja in chat. Shedinja has a cool game mechanic. So it evolves from Ninjask, which is a cicada without wings. If in the game you have an empty Pokemon slot, because you can only hold 6 Pokemon at a time throughout the game, if you have one empty slot, when Nincada evolves, you'll get a Ninjask, which is a cicada that can fly, and that empty spot will get filled in with Shedinja. And it has 1 hit point, but it can only get hit by things that are super effective against its typing. And I think it's a ghost type, but I don't remember. So you need something that's super effective against ghosts in order for it to take any damage, but if it does take damage, it's dead immediately. I just think it's a cool mechanic. You need an empty slot in your bag in order to get a specific Pokemon. I was also thinking, at some point, we may do some Pokemon streams on this channel, where I do a challenge of playing the Pokemon games and getting each Pokemon from the generation in the oldest game that I have of that generation. So we would go to the Game Boy Advance games, because I don't have the originals, and play like Fire Red and Leaf Green for all the first 150. Oh wait, no, we have both of these. We're taking a second. Pretty much we'd go through all the different games that I have, and including any future games at that point, just to get all the original 1,024 current Pokemon. Even more overload damage. Okay, we do have more cobalt. So what I'm gonna do now is, just in case they do start building from where you start, I'm gonna start over here, and we're just gonna make this entire line upgrade. I don't think they go off of the first tile in the line, but if they do, they'll be working away from the refinery. Nope, they definitely don't. They go wherever they feel like it. Okay, how is the research doing? They finished the first 2. Okay. Let's come down here. We do not have Wheezeworts, so there's no point in going into this. So we're just going to do this one, and then we'll come back. Now, unlike Infospace, I can't line up multiple researches to get done. So we'll have to complete this research and then come back for the next one. I think we'll set up our temporary... No, we can't do that. I was going to say set up our temporary research station down here. But we're having an issue with power, so putting more wires down here would not make anything better. We could just take out this station. But I don't know. Okay, how are our eggs doing? I see 2 Paku eggs in here. So that's 2 there. I see 3 Pip eggs. And there's no hatch or shine bug, so we're fine. We're just waiting for all the cobalt to get on. What should we do while we wait? We could probably start putting in the things that don't require cobalt, but that would require mopping up all this water. Can I get all the way up here? That's 2, 2, 3. I can't do that. So let's dig that. We could find a way to get up here, actually. There's an easy way right here. That should allow us to get into this door, which we can then rummage through this table. And then there's the brain thing that we might try to keep there. In my previous playthroughs of this specific seed, I would get rid of that building because it was in the way of a colony. But we are going to be building this base slightly different than I did in previous tries, because I used to keep food within our actual base, but we're going to put food out here in this large area that's uncovered. I think I said there's 7 different foods we're going to be growing, one of which is mealwood. I'm just waiting to make sure this is actually getting a person. Looks like willow is the closest to doing it. So that'll get done eventually. What I want them to do is mop up everything right here. So I'm gonna do this on a priority of 6. So that it's not the highest priority thing, because we don't necessarily need it to be mopped up. But we probably should have already. What are they doing for research? They're just not getting around to it yet. Okay. They are probably doing food-related stuff. Welcome in, Raiders! Hello, Rem. It's been a while since I've seen you. For those that don't know, my name is Coded. On this stream, we are playing all of my games in an order that shows mankind's progression through technology. We are doing a Still in the Space play along, so in the game you'll be able to do some polls. I got distracted. Right now we are in a space travel chapter of the story where we are playing Oxygen Not Included for the largest portion of it. We're going to be doing this colony with, if anyone dies, we're going to restart the save file. So there's nobody's allowed to die. We're also doing an increased difficulty of it where each person needs to have only one specialty. Then they're all going into supplying afterwards. So on top of that, we are also not allowing a duplicate of a specialty. So we're not going to have 2 diggers until we have all 12 specialties completed, except for execute training, because that doesn't really do anything other than make them walk faster. So, before I think of anything else, Raiders and Rem, feel free to lurk. Make sure to get up and stretch. If you've been sitting for a while, get something to eat, get something to drink, and I will see you guys later if you're lurking. We did have a prediction going, but it looks like we were unable to allow more people into it at this point. So what we're going to do is, while you guys are here, we're going to open our first pot of the day. And then we're going to immediately start another prediction so that the newcomers can put in some points and try to win. So let's see what this one is. It is drywall, and one I don't have. No, I think I have that. I think I have juicy lime. So that would be a... Ooh, that's a good thing. So what I've been doing is trying to make only 3 choices. So there's a lot of different things you can get, and this kind of falls into decorations and buildings. Either way, no one voted for either one of those 2 options. But at the same time, what would wallpaper be? It's a thing you have to build, so it could be considered building. Decorations right now is really just paintings and balloons for excited responses. This might have been a thing I put in other. So what we're actually going to do is I'm going to make a drywall as a 4th option. Let's choose outcome. I am going to label this as a building because it is a tile you have to make. I mean, so is paintings, though. It could have been decoration. But anyway, we're going to start the next prediction. We're not going to open the next pod yet. So let's do this. I am going to reorganize the words, so give me just one moment. I can spell. There we go. Decorations. And then the last one is wallpaper. Okay, so you guys have 10 minutes to put in as many points as you would like. I'd say drywall would count as a building, as it's not purely a cosmetic thing. It adds decor. That's a point, but so does paintings. And I was specifically saying paintings are a decoration thing. But it also takes up tiles. Wait, no it doesn't, because you can put paintings on top of drywall. Drywall is the background tile, and if you put a tile on top of drywall, it breaks the drywall. So paintings are a separate thing than buildings, in my definition of what a building is. I say paintings are building too. Also, you said you were streaming for 10.5 hours? I don't know if I could do that. I think we did do a 12-hour stream before, and I was tired by, I think, hour 8. Anyway, we have this paused. We also have ads, so for anyone who's in ads who can't hear me, have fun. Nothing on the 29.5 hours you did last stream? Rem! What are you doing? I don't know if I could do that. I do want to do something for Christmas. When I have off for about a week and a half, due to being a school bus driver, I have off as schools would. And I am thinking of doing a 24-hour stream at some point to celebrate. Now, my birthday is also the day before the American Thanksgiving. So we could also do it on Black Friday, which is the day after the US Thanksgiving Day. I also don't know if I'm doing anything for Thanksgiving. Oh, they did some of the mopping up here. Okay, so that means Gino can come in here and dig out all of those now. And then also make a temporary staircase. For those who just came in, this is going to be our SPOM. Now, we can see one of our main water sources here. Since that is dormant, I kind of want to get up here very quickly and just analyze it. How quickly can we get up there? 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. 2. We need to go here and over. And how do we make this get stifled on its own? I think it just needs to be 2 tiles above. Like, the water comes out of this tile, so if we go here, that should get stifled. Or it goes up a 3rd tile, and I don't remember. Either way, we should be able to get over. Especially if I do a ladder here. You are correct, 2 tiles. I just, for some reason, think that it can spill over the 3rd tile. But no, when I do a box in here with a water pump, I put it straight up to this, like this would be the roof of the box. So in total, including the floor and the ceiling, it's 4 tiles high. I think that's more correct than what I was thinking. I don't know why I think it's 3 tiles. Because even a volcano is 2 tiles high before it gets stifled. Anyway, we have our radiation stuff ready. That's an oxyfern. Why is that there? Also, can I put the radiation station over here? Oh, it's 3 tiles high. It's also 5 tiles wide. Even if I wanted to put it here, we don't have enough room without having to put a new wire somewhere. It might spill over a little bit as it becomes stifled, but it stifles when it's fully submerged. Looks like Pip's wondering. There's no Pip in here, though. We also don't have a rancher, so we're waiting for this Pip to die, and then we're going to make this bin be just seeds only. I just don't want the Pip constantly going in there and emptying it. Let's take a look at our eggs. How many eggs are in this ranch? There's 3 there, there's 3 Pip eggs, there's no hatch, no pacu, no poke shell, and no shine bugs. Okay. There's a Volibee in chat. Don't know how to describe that Pokemon. It's a bird. But other than that, I have no idea what to say it is. I just really want to get over here before it becomes not dormant. Or before it wakes up, I guess. Let's get the picture of what we're doing open. Now, you guys aren't going to see the picture. This. Put this here. There's also about 5 minutes to go on the prediction if anyone wants to still get into it. We are going to count out how many tiles we need. Let me count out how many of these pumps. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 pumps. I'm gonna pause so they don't dig out this one tile. I said 13, right? I don't remember. We'll go to 13. That's 13. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, it's 15. Okay. This is just so I can see how far this has to go. We're going to this, and then I'm going to add in the Atmos sensors right here. So we're going to do this. This is going to be like a little bump out. And then I'm going to cancel all of these, because I don't want them to make it out of aluminum. Do you want a thing that will show you what the Pokemon looks like on your stream? I didn't know that was a thing I could do. Yes, I would. I don't think you'll be able to whisper it to me, but I think we've spoken on Discord before. I'm pretty sure we have. Anyway, did we get in here yet? What's going on with... I think we're gonna have to increase the priority on this. We do have a normal pod ready to go. Alright, Bert's coming up here to open that. Let's see what's in here. Anyone good? No people, so we go for the 4th option. And it looks like Willow isn't building any of these. Is no one going to this, perhaps? Let's put that on a 6. I don't want to call this a high priority like food. I didn't mean we share a Discord, just I think we've spoken DMs. I actually don't see you on here. Oh, that's probably because my name's different on Discord, so people can't find me right away. How do you search? I'm gonna attempt... Okay, good. Why, thank you. I will look at that later. I'm also going to close Discord so that we don't get... Is that a Regus? His Discord name is What the Hell is the Space 123? Welcome in, Regus. It has been quite a while since you've been able to be on a stream, and I'm glad to see you. Right, they're about halfway done looking at this. You are still alive. How has it been seeing Sophie IRL? We are putting in some of the groundwork for our SPOM. Now, for those that may not have been here when I spoke about this before, we are making hydro SPOMs, or hydro electrolyzers, which are then going to push out the different gases in an infinite storage. They're actually 6 feet tall. I don't believe you. I don't believe that Sophie would be 6 foot tall. See, now if Sophie told me, I would probably believe them, but I don't believe you. Anyway, we have to go every other 2 tiles. All the way until we get to the wall over here. So this is the last time. That should be 10 individual 2 wide rooms. And then right here is a floor. Now I want to make sure that we're making everything out of igneous rock. Is this all igneous? That is all igneous. Our main building tile is going to be igneous rock. Eventually, we are going to be getting into volcanoes and taming them just for the extra igneous. We're also going to be turning all of our hatches into stone hatches, which are then going to eat the igneous rock. So, igneous rock is going to be our most important item later in the game. Alright, Cody, time for you to lurk and get some rest. Have fun. Dream all the good things. Hopefully not the game you've been playing for so long. I hope all your dupes do stupid things. They already do. Have fun, Ryan. I'm glad to see you came in. Yeah, so once they do all of this, this is where our electrolyzers are going to sit. I don't know how much available ore we have now. It says we have almost 12 tons. I don't know if that's counting in the airflow tiles I just built. It was not, because now it's actually going down. That's all the electrolyzers. So let's dig out all of this. Oh, that's going to stop them from getting up here. They did do the data bank here. We need to relocate this somewhere I'm not going to forget. Let's put it right here, somewhere I can see it. And then we need to add ladders going all the way up here. Now, another thing I'm going to place in is a liquid lock at certain tiles. So there's going to be a liquid lock right here. And then we have our 4-tile high room. Above that ladder is another liquid lock. And then 3 tiles above that is the last liquid lock. This will make sense later on. So let's go all the way up to this tile. I'm going to dig this one algae plant. We're going to then go into this. Or get into it, I mean. I then want to prioritize building all of this. That's not on all. There we go. Because we need that stuff done so that we can get up here and get this to be stifled at some point. How much oxygen do you need? For a total of 24 dupes, quite a lot. 24 dupes would survive off of just 3 electrolyzers, but we're also doing this for Atmos suits, which are going to be used very often. And then the thing that makes oxalite later on, I think. I haven't really planned that far, but We will need it at some point. How are the kittens? They are still all sound asleep. One is probably still with their mother, who is just off screen. And I don't know what's going on with my nose, but it's very itchy for some reason. How are the kittens? They're probably in college by now. They almost are. This Saturday, in 2 days, they will be 8 weeks old. We have 3 confirmed on leaving. 2 of them are going to be leaving on Sunday, and the 3rd one is leaving on Monday afternoon. So we will be seeing at least 2 kittens on Monday. The other 2 kittens, we do not have them being taken yet. We don't have them confirmed. They're the 2 gray tuxedos. We have 2 people, well, we have 3 people lined up for the 2 gray tuxedos, but we haven't talked to them and getting a date set up for when they want to be picked up. So you might see 4 kittens on Monday, you might not, I have no idea. Willow, you are going to get your stuff stuck in here. I think you already did get your stuff stuck. You should be able to breathe a little bit. Can I have this on emergency, please? Willow is scaring me. For those that are new and have not been for the entire, or not here the entire stream, there is an available spot for names. We have 4 unnamed dupes, one of which is going to be named Slicky when they come back. Gino did put in points for another person to have a name. Or have a dupe, I mean. And this, I kind of need immediately. Okay, Regus, you get to choose. Let's go into skills. Nope. Probably look at schedule. So we have a Steve, which is our scientist. We have Bert, our farmer. Travaldo is our supplier. And Amari is our mechatronics engineer. Which one would you like, Regus? And then if we fill in the other 2 people, Slicky will get whoever is the last one. Amari? I think I can find Amari right there. No, that's Willow. Amari is the other hard hat. Right there. So far I've been doing full handles on the name. Do you want to just Regus or Regus streaming? I'm going to type in just Regus for right now. And then if you want full Regus streaming, I'll change it. Just Regus is fine? Okay. Willow is doing some of these. You know what? I should probably up the priority on the power, because this is breaking and costing us more refined metals. And I have to go back through this and downgrade everything here. Nope, that needs to be on a 7. Our water sieve is the only water source we have for right now because we're going through all this water while we set up. You don't like the bedrooms? What's wrong with the bedrooms? We have 23. This is going to be a bedroom as well. They are large enough to be a deluxe bedroom later on when we have plastic. But until we have a SPOM, I'm more concerned on how we're going to breathe. So I haven't cleaned up anything. Slightly different than what you do, so it's all wrong. Good. Luckily, nobody is stuck in here, but this bleach stone is off-gassing, and I don't like that. Luckily, now that the wires are all on a higher priority, they are getting through this cobalt faster. Willow will only be able to do 3 more wires. And we have another thing here. We also have the pole done. It looks like everyone predicted clothing. We have a doctor. I could care less about them needing to pee more often. We also don't have anything to do with slicksters right now. We have no way of making a room hot enough for a slickster. So I think they need something hotter than 75 degrees. Do we get another dupe? Let's check on our food. There's a Nidorino in chat. That's Gen 1. I've seen it before, though. Let's check on how much food we have. So, this farm area is enough for 5 dupes. There's 25 pots there. And then thrown about the place, we have 5 right here. There's 4 here, and then a 5th one here. And there's 5 right here. We can take in another dupe just off of Mulewood. And we can get them automatically into doctoring to help with the triage cot if anyone else gets hurt. Now, I am going to continue duplicating these. It's a copy of a copy. Pretty soon there's going to be copy of copy of copy. And this is going to have Stinky. I think we should name Stinky as Slicky, just because they rhyme in a way. Rhyme and alliteration. Is this still emptying? It is still pouring out liquid. Okay. Why are they going this way to go around? Because they can't get through the bathroom to go to the left. Gotcha. Let's take a look at our eggs. Congrats, Gino, on catching the Nidorino. There's 3 pip eggs. There's 2 Peku eggs. They're both in there. We have a shine bug. That is in there. Alright, let's do the prediction on the second pod. So, there is 3.5k points in clothes. I hope you guys get your points back. It is wallpaper again. So I am now keeping all of those points. And we will wait another half hour before we do the last prediction. We'll wait until we're doing the kittens. Now, if they could prioritize doing this tile, we could get all this bleach stone put away and stop that from off-gassing. And this one hatch hasn't given us an egg. There's a sage hatch here because there was dirt in here. Let's cancel all the sweep commands in there. Alright. They're still doing the power. Power should be getting better. Once they're done that, we can start putting in the power stuff from up here. So really, we're just waiting for them to build different things. I need them to build everything in this area before we start doing stuff up here. We are, on the other hand, going to need... where is it? Is it in... furniture, that's what I'm looking for. We need 3 pedestals. This is something that Willow has showed me. If you put a pedestal down and you put a liquid being shown on it, it only does 100 grams. So, when we put water on all 3 of these, we will get 300 grams. Or is it 3,000? It's 1,000 grams. It's a kilogram of liquid. And when you put 3,000 grams in 2 tiles, it splits and goes into 15. 1,500 grams of liquid will not stifle a building. So we're going to be doing salt water on the bottom 2 tiles, and the top 2 tiles is going to be regular water. And when we do that, it is going to push oxygen out to the left, and that's going to funnel down here. And then it's going to push out hydrogen upwards or to the right. It's up or right. And that's going to come up here into a large room of just hydrogen that's going to get sucked up by 2 more pumps and be sent into 10 hydrogen generators, as well as 1 extra for, extra hydrogen we have. Now, they did pick up the majority of bleach stone. I saw that a little bit drop down here, but it looks like they are taken care of already. Now, I kind of want to get over through here so that we can drop all the salt water this way. I also don't think I can wait until the next ad break before I need to use the restroom. So what we're going to do is first pause this, and I'm going to set up our "Be Right Back" scene to have the game running. And we're back. Put on the ground. Hi, Mama. How are you? Do you want some treats, Mama? You can have some treats. You still get a little bit left. A little bit of time left before it's time for you to get fed. I'm also running out of dry food. I do get paid tomorrow, so I'll be buying more tomorrow. But we're running out. Voice changer?
Slicky's dead too.
It seems like the "Be Right Back" video is constantly playing, and I don't know how to stop it for some reason. Can't figure out what button it is to stop videos from auto-playing. They are suffocating down here. If I go over here and then up like this, we can give them a little pocket of air in here, because the carbon dioxide won't be able to go up and in until they breathe enough of this that it takes that tile away. That'll give them more air to breathe in here. It also says no power. Means that our oxygen's not running. Okay. They're working it out. Didn't mean to pause. They are almost done. Will is doing a decent job of doing all of this. She's also got all the way over here. I do want this on a 6, because that's probably going to open up again. 14 cycles. Circuit overloaded again. The circuit is going to keep getting overloaded as many times as we make more cobalt to fix the circuit. It's a snake eating its own tail type of thing. Alright, let's take a look at our eggs. 2 Paku eggs. I see 1 in here. I don't see the other one. That's Pip. That's not what I meant to click on. There they are. I knew there was another one. Move you into here. Alright, now let's look at the 3 Pip eggs. That's fine then. They did just finish this, so even if it doesn't stifle at 2 tiles and goes up to a 3rd one, that's still blocked in with all that hydrogen in there. I need a place for salt water to go. There's also a regular pod, so let's see who's in here. A builder? We already have a builder, that's Willow. We don't have all the other things, so we're going to take this 12,000 calories And I need to figure out how we're going to get into here. Now this is going to be a full room. So we need to dig out 96 tiles. There we go. And then also one more because we're going to do the hatches a little weird. Or the ranches. That would be all the way over to here. So that's just a placeholder for a moment. But I'm going to cancel the things that they don't need to build on just yet. This right here is for our Atmos suits. So over here is going to be the wall going down. And then another 3. 2, 1, 2, 3. This is a liquid lock. That's how that's going to be. I'm also going to place 2 doors out here. This is going to stop certain people from leaving the base, but also allow them to pick up stuff that gets stuck in here. Now this is going to let loose all of that water. So what we're going to want to do is dig out all of that first. We'll slowly make our way over. I am purposely digging out these tiles first. Let's stop all that. So that we can get down here without letting loose this water. Because I'm going to try to drop it down in here. Only this amount of water in here. The rest we're going to go underneath and over. There's a graveyard in chat if anyone wants a dog. Yeah, we'll dig to here. If I dig to here, and then... Oh, we can dig down 3 tiles, never mind. We'll just dig to there. It isn't going to be enough for all of this water, but hopefully these 2 tiles length is going to be enough. Let's actually drop that bleach stone down there. Okay, how is our power going? Oh, we're down onto the last portion. There's now 3 Paku eggs. Oh, apparently there's 2 in here. There is. Okay, so pretty soon we won't be getting any power issues and wasting cobalt ore. We are down to 9.5. So I'm thinking we might try to figure out where the end of this biome is. I see it's curving over this way, so I'm going to assume this portion is the last of this one. So we are going to tell them to kill those slugs, because I hate slugs. We're going to dig out all that. That will overflow into here, go all the way down, and it should all funnel down into our main tank here. It should be able to handle all of that. That's not too much extra water. On the other hand, need to check that we are auto-harvesting. We are not auto-harvesting those. Some of these are things we're just now finding, others are pip-related stuff. Okay, that should have been every plant. There's a few kittens that are missing. Don't know where they went, but okay. There's still one in a hammock, and there's still one on the bed behind me. In the little cat bed. Alright, Gino's making his way over to the bleachstone. Which should mean that right here I can dig down to that tile. I need that salt to be dug up. Because down here we can dig up that tile. We'll dig those, we'll dig those as well. I was trying to not make them do that, because now I don't think they can get over. No, they still can. Oh, that's white. Willow's doing her best. So that should mean that I can go like this. Alright, Gino dug up everything that we need to get out into the ladder area. This is also going to unlock a bunch of cobalt. We should probably dig that up before we do anything else. Ah, they dug out the tile that was right there. Sorry guys, but I kind of need you to have that tile. Did they do everything that was over here? They have not tried to kill the 2 slugs yet. Because they were digging out the food. There's a pip out here? I didn't know we had any pips out here. We have a pinch of pepper seed. We'll be using that later on. Okay, now they're coming over to kill the slugs. And while the slugs are sleeping, so they can't even fight back. I am surprised that Steve is coming over here instead of going to sleep, though. What was this? Oh, I remember what that is now. This should be our secondary water source. Should be. It might not. We have salt water here. No, it's not our secondary. So this is a water source, and this should be another water source. They are free power. I know they are free power, but we don't have a renewable source of refined metal right now. Once we are able to tame a cobalt ranch or cobalt volcano, I don't know why I'm hovering over this. That's not volcano. Cobalt. Let me get my words together first. When we have a cobalt volcano tamed, which there's either 2 or 3 on this map, then we'll be able to ranch those for extra power. But we're also not going to need to ranch them for power either. So it's kind of a if we feel like it type thing. Why are they going up and over? You know what? Deconstruct those 2 tiles so they don't have to keep going in the liquid to get over here. The only reason they should be coming up here is to kill that, pick up food, cobalt when we mine it. This is the end of that biome, but there's a little bit of cobalt in here in the other biome. This should be a Draco biome as well. There's no Dracolets in there though. There's none over here either. No, there are. We have a Draco. We should probably make a ladder all the way up to them. It's another pod. Building? No. We'll take the sandstone then. This is a lot of igneous rock as well. I'm not running through igneous rock like I normally would yet, because we don't have the hatches set up for what we're using them for. There's a hatch egg. Everything up here is sage hatches now. You can't show me what kind of egg you would give unless you're fully grown, I don't think. Gino's doing his best to get all of the stuff done. Can go to there. I need to tell them not to build this. Wait, why? No, I can tell them to build it. They shouldn't. No, they're gonna dig out the. Once they dig that tile, they're gonna dig this. So this is the thing I actually don't want them to build. Because if they dug this out, the sand would fall, then they dig out the sand, and then all the liquid go in there. We're trying to keep the liquid out of there. Once they get down here, we can let all this drain out and then set up our liquid lock, which is going to have oil due to oil being a bottom liquid, so everything would sit on top of it. So if they ever pee in the Atmos suits and drop the liquid on the floor, it won't get mixed in as though we would have like a regular water here. Then the polluted water would push all the water around and create an even bigger mess. So anyway, they should be able to get in here. I'm surprised they can't to get all the way over here. So what I'm going to do is set up ladders every other tile until a point where we get into sand, like right here. We can't dig out anything there, though. Can tell them to dig all of that. And this. They can't get up here anymore, but we don't need them to get up here. We can also lock this door. They're almost down here. Gina will soon be able to dig through this once they do this one ladder here. They're still picking up cobalt. How is the power over here? The power is almost done. They only need to do 2 more things of cobalt before this is completed. Come on, Stinky. Disable auto repair. Yes, we'll have fixed that one. There we go. Now everything a cobalt we're making is going to be for our SPOM, which is going to take a lot. Let's start doing the automation. So 2 Atmos sensors. Why do I have 2? One of them turns on the pumps when there's enough air pressure. What am I using the other one for then? Ooh. This is very unsafe. I don't know what that was towards, Regus. What part is unsafe? I really don't know what this top Atmos sensor is for. I would assume it's for the electrolyzers. I'm gonna leave it there, but I don't know what the heck we're using it for. I'm then going to take this line. Where does the automation go on a pump? It goes on left side. There's going to be a pump right here. All the way over and into there. Now, it's going to be not enough cobalt to make all that. That's fine. We still need to figure out how we're going to do all the power. Actually, I can go into a different picture and be able to find the automation thing. It is for the aqua tuners, or the, not the aqua tuners, the electrolyzers. But I don't remember what I used this for. I'm thoroughly confused on why I have it for the electrolyzers. Probably to turn them off. We'll keep it. Okay, Juno's down here getting ready for the ladder. We're getting closer. If I were to break this tile, can they build this? They can. They can't build the top one, good. We don't want them to build that one though. But now that'll stop them from leaking liquid down in here. Willow just placed it. Nope, Willow did not just place in the tile. There's a person coming for that though. Here comes Gino. Once Gino digs that tile, he can get all this stuff as well. Now, this is all carbon dioxide down here. There's quite a bit, so I'm not going to be able to do it all in one go. Will is up here doing the electrolyzers. There's a Meryl in chat. We said that we were going to put salt water on the bottom, right? Yes, yes we did. I am going to put a little pump right here. Or do I want it somewhere else? How big is the pipe? The pipe goes 4 tiles below. So if I put it here, that should be able to get everything below it if I dig all this out. It's not going to get this liquid right away. Fine with that. What I do want is to queue this up to not have brine. We don't have enough brine to do this anyway. We do need to sweep all this out now. Nothing else is going to fall down here, so there's no reason to have debris. Ooh, this being dropped down is actually going to come over here, so we will be able to use this pump right away. Just not for very long. You got this, Gino. You're also able to do the ladder. And then Gino's getting the pincher, the pump ready. And it looks like Regus is going around doing all the automation, which I didn't know the mechatronics engineer would be prioritized in doing. Regus, you were also our cook, because we don't have a cooker yet. Since you weren't here, we were doing a difficulty setting of Oxygen Uncluded, where each person can only have one interest. So right now we do not have anyone that was interested in cooking. so I put you in cooking until we get a cook. Then you'll just only be a mechatronics engineer with the supplying buffs. I'm interested in cooking. Okay, this is a good time to mop that. I heard our pod open. Digger decorator. That would be our 8th dupe. I don't think we want to have a decorator as our 8th person. I'd rather have a rancher or a cook as our 8th person, since we're only doing one electrolyzer for right now. So they would be our last person until we get the SPOM up and ready. So we can now put the salt water over here. Why isn't it with the other liquids? There it is. That's weird. Why is it separated by food? I got water, polluted, and brine over here, and then above barbecue is salt water. But anyway, all of this salt water. Now we have buckets here, but it's saying that our available salt water is going down. So I don't know if they can use these or not. But either way, we can dig out these tiles now. And then I need to find a way to drain out all of this stuff. So let's go... Oh, we have to dig out this tile. There. All of those. And then we really only need to dig out that amount there. I was going to do it right here, but they're digging this tile. Oh wait, no, that's sand. They'll do this, then they'll block themselves in, that's fine. We'll just have them dig out the salt and the sand. There's our automated messages for our 2nd hour, so that means pretty soon we'll be going into an ad break. I just want to get the digging commands done down here. Before we go and feed the kittens. We can also dig all of those, and I'm going to cancel this just so they can build that. Deconstruct this. They won't be able to get in here right away. But if we deconstruct that, they will be able to. And then we'll go like that. Once Gino does this one dig, they should come up here and dig out all the salt water. Because this stuff shouldn't have any of the igneous rock ready for it. Good job, Gino. If only they didn't have to keep coming down here for air. They're probably going to dig themselves into a hole over here. Oh, they also have slime lungs, so they can't breathe very well. You can make it, Gino. I believe in you. I knew this was going to happen. So once they dig that, they'll dig the rest, and then all we have to do is come up here and mop as we go up. Gina, where are you going? Oh, they can't get up this high. That makes sense. So the mud that's over here is off-gassing the amount that Gino needs to breathe. If we were to dig out one more layer, they would have a carbon sink down here. Let me dig out that one thing of sand. That's gonna help just empty this area. Do we want to put water in here temporarily, or just wait until we get the oil over here? Should probably wait until we get oil. We have oil over here we can use. So let's get our dig commands ready. They can dig 2 tiles farther than the ladder, so I'm not going to put them everywhere. And then down here is going to be where they sink into. Let's just go like this. I am going to put... Oh, we're going to move this ladder. We're going to move over here. So that we can dig into this. Get over here. We're gonna put, not an outhouse, that's not what I meant to click on. I'm gonna put this on this side. You got all that as well. Okay, how is the SPOM going? They've almost done all the automation down here. Apparently Gino can't come out here. Oh, apparently... That was weird. Why couldn't anyone get out here for a moment? Oh, they had the tile dug out. Okay. That makes sense then. You're allowed, Gino. They're about to dig themselves stuck into here. Now, I just got the notification through Twitch that our ads are going to start soon. So let's take a break from the game. We are going to pause. We're going to start the next prediction. It's going to be the same options: clothes, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper. You have 10 minutes to put points in. We did get wallpaper twice. And while we're going through the ads, I'm going to be getting the kittens' food ready. But anyway, we're back to oxygen included. I had put in these pumps. There's power behind them, and I'm starting to put all the pipes in. So, right next to this one, we do these 2. And this comes down to there. We do these 2. Bring this down. This gets bridged over. You do these 2, and this goes down. Continue to that pipe over. We do these 2, and this goes down to here and then over. And this continues to be piped over. Then it's a double bridge here. This comes down to here. Most of this is for gas of the base, but some of it is for the Atmos suits that are going to be right here. So it's not going to make sense for a moment, but it will in the future. The only thing we can set up right away is this vent. Alright, press play, let them build this out. Gino is probably not going to dig this stuff out very quickly. Getting a lot of debuffs, that's making him slow and want to breathe more. Luckily, Stinky was able to come up there and dig out some of that. Now, the only thing that Gino has to dig out is the fossil, because it's a tier 2 dig. Oh, Gino. I might need Willow to come do this. How do we get everything out? Chilly surroundings from being in water. Soggy feet also from being in water. They're hungry, they have slime lung. which they won't have in one cycle. Major eye irritation is from hydrogen. They at least dug this out so that the liquid can flow. Alright, let's see what's in here. Dig or rocketry? Ooh, we could do rocketer. No, we won't do that. Piloter, I mean. Looks like everyone put in their points into clothing. Kids are playing around and I didn't know what they were doing. Alright, you know what? Let's forget about that, Gino. Just come in here and be able to breathe. You're probably going to go down below and dig out this stuff, which will help us. And then I think I want to put this on a high priority. Why aren't they taking this? Well, they should be focusing on the toilets. Because now only one person can use the toilet at a time. Instead of everyone from that schedule. I don't know why somebody... There we go. Steve is working on it. We're having a little bit of power issues. That's going to be solved pretty soon, I think. We do still have quite a bit of cobalt. So let's take a look at more automation. Got another achievement for something. So this I'm going to bring up. Like that. Gonna be connected here, but I don't want to do it until I have this all taken care of. What I could do is actually mop everything in this area. That would probably help us. Okay, Gino should be running a little bit faster. Once somebody mops all this up, we can start putting the roofs over top of these. We should probably put up that. We're gonna need a single blob of liquid on that tile. Let's remove that for a moment. Relocate to right here, please. And then empty it. We're probably gonna have to mop up in here. Gino's getting this done. Thinking maybe 2 tiles, this might drop down. Making all this carbon dioxide fit in here. There's a Among Us in chat, or Among Us. It's a mushroom Pokemon. Alright, let's check all these. We have you. Everyone else should be fine. I think it's just a doctor being the 7th person needs to be Figured out. Hi, Mama. Nobody emptied this. Put that on a 9. Good luck, Gino. Okay, while we are waiting for them to do even more stuff over here, let's do the last prediction. So what's in the pod? Another wallpaper. That was 3 wallpapers in a row. I definitely feel like it's rigged. So, sorry to everyone who voted for clothes all 3 times. Okay, we do have to mop up this little bit here. Congrats, Gino, on catching the mushroom. That's gonna make a liquid lock once this is done. So we just need this to be salt water again. And you could be relocated to here. Gino's doing his good work down here. There we go, now we got some of the tiles going down. Maybe not. Maybe we need one more tile taken out. There we go. Once he does this tile, he can get down here. He doesn't have slime lung anymore, so although he is suffocating and cold and wet, and an eye irritation due to the hydrogen up here, he should be doing better. Hey, Mama. Okay, that should give us a whole thing of this. They should be able to breathe better. Aside from the people that are coming in here to grab the cobalt, they should be coming up here to mop. There we go. This was meant to still have water on it. Oops. I can at least put this back in. Dig out all of that. So Will and Gino are over here doing their stuff. We do have liquid that we could put in here now. Let's put a water dumper. Oh, there's water in here already. This is gonna have to be on a 9. They're taking too long to do this. How did water get in there? It was up here. I think. Scalding! Oh, probably from in here. Oh, that's a good point. That's gonna bring in a lot of heat. And there is the raid out timer. So in a little bit we're gonna find someone to raid out, but not right now. I could open up all of this thermal stuff. It would go into the water though. What am I hearing them scratching on? Oh, they're trying to find a way out. Where are they? Hold on 1 second, chat. Watch over the dupes for me. Turns out it was Mama saying that she's done with the food. We're trying to cover it with the carpet. What are you doing? Yeah. Alright, you might have to pick a duper sticky. I think I do. So let's choose something. I know we have a stinky. Stinky rhymes with slicky. Now, what would slicky like? I mean, slicky likes... Oh, I forget what we were playing. Slicky likes Kerbal Space Program. So we could do Scientist unless we get a pilot. Let's do Steve. First, let's see. Ooh, spicy tofu! We're gonna be making spicy tofu later on. It's one of the few foods we're gonna be making. So I'll name this person Slicky. Just wanted to check our duplicant and make sure that they are full. Dig that out so they can get up and over. We can continue the automation wire over here. Again, I still don't remember what that was for. It's obviously to turn these off and on, but I don't remember what the settings were. I probably have this turning off when it is below 500 grams. I guess it would have to be above. Would be green. And I guess this was set to be if it was below 20 kilograms to allow the electrolyzers to turn on. Because then we have a lot of oxygen in here. Probably something like that, who knows. Crude oil, enable auto bottle, put that on a 6. Because I want that done relatively soon. And then I think for Saturday, we'll obviously finish up all the building that's here. And then I need them to really focus on sweeping up everything. All of that stuff needs to go. Alright, we got the beginning portion of the SPOM started. I'm happy about that. I think we progressed enough there. Let's go down here, hold on. That was supposed to be 3 tiles, we never put in the other 2. Is there anything else we should probably do before we raid out? I am going to put in another 3 pedestals. We're going to have water on 1, or on 3, and salt water on the other 3. That should help us progress a little bit faster through this. I think I should tell them to mop up all of this. Because they keep walking up here for some reason. Okay. So this is where we're going to save it. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.